Yeah, in this segment here, we'll be talking about how the Clippers can ruin Chris Paul's legacy. And CP3, he has a career that I think that's really confusing. A lot of people have decorated him and praised him as being one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard of the last 10 years. And, he's been relatively healthy for most of his career and everything like that. But at the same time, you have to look at it from a standpoint of he has never been to a finals, never won an MVP of the league, never been a finals MVP. He hasn't even got, that far or that advanced in his career. And he's been in the league so long. And I know it's not all his fault because, it's all about team. Your team has to be right as well. But, he's choked 3-1 leads and everything like that before. And here's another situation where his team is the better team. His team has a 3-1 lead. And the Clippers are without their best player. And you're finding yourselves in a dogfight against a team without their best player. And their second best player is inconsistent efficiency-wise. Some nights Paul George, like the other night, he can go 15 for 20. And then some nights he goes 10 for 28 from the field. So you have an inconsistent second star on the Clippers, and you're still having trouble closing the deal. Now, I will say this much as well. CP3 is a great player, but to me, I don't look at him as the all-time or one of the... I look at him as one of the best point guards ever, but he would be like he would be number 10 on my list if I had to come down with a list, me personally. He is a great player, but the Clippers can ruin his legacy specifically by Paul George going out there and playing the way he did the last game. Let the game come to him. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to do too much. Only, unless maybe if Reggie Jackson or Marcus Morris is not, flamed up, if they're not on fire or something like that, or they're not playing well, then you have to force the action a little bit. But if you do what he did last game and just let the game come to him and let everybody get theirs and just make it, take the game over in the second half, but also play efficient in the first half, but take the game over in the second half like he did last game, and then let Reggie Jackson close it out. That's pretty much the best strategy they can come up with. And I do believe the Clippers can ruin CP3's legacy, because to me, if the Clippers beat the Suns without Kawhi Leonard and the Suns have their big three, basically, that's going to be really, really tarnishing on Chris Paul's legacy. When you sit and talk about legacy, you have to look at it from a standpoint of this is what defines you as a player going forward, what people will always remember you as in big moments. And to me, the Clippers have a chance to ruin his legacy, because if Chris Paul doesn't win against the Clippers without their best player, and you're playing against a team with, really good role players and a really good second star, and you have the likes of DeAndre Ayton and a Devin Booker who can go out there and dominate against any team in the NBA just about, along with yourself as in Chris Paul, then, it's really going to hurt, his legacy and everything that he stands for. Now, me personally, as far as what the Clippers can do, the Clippers just need to go out there and have the mindset of this is the game for us to win, so we could take it to a game 7 and see exactly what happens. Because, of course, if they go to Phoenix, it's going to be tough to win in Phoenix just because of the crowd and everything and everybody there. But it doesn't matter. You want to give yourself that opportunity. And the only way to do that is to take care of business at home. And the Clippers have a good enough team to take care of business tonight at home. And I believe they will. I do need the same energy, same production from Marcus Morris. I need around 20 points. I need I feel like I'm getting 25 plus 20 to 25 for Reggie Jackson. I just feel like we could just pencil that in, what I'm saying? Like that's a done deal. Then, Paul George needs 25 plus as well. I need him to shoot efficient. And I need them to just, lock down on defense. Don't let don't have no misassignments, because the Clippers can actually make this into an even more interesting series if it goes 7 games. Because, you never know. Hypothetically, game 7, there's always that chance, Kawhi might possibly walk through the door. You never know. Not saying it's likely. He's more likely out indefinitely, might not come back. But, hey, game 7, everything on the line, chance to go to NBA Finals. Those are the things you have to really, really, factor in, and then on top of that, like I said, it would be really embarrassing for Chris Paul to lose to a Clippers team without their best player. To me, it would really put a big dent in his legacy. Don't think that stops him from going to the Hall of Fame, but I think that really will actually boost Paul George up more. And what I'm thinking is, in this series, if Paul George outplays CP3 with CP3's other weapons and Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, if the Clippers somehow win this and go to the finals, we're talking about an all-time role reversal, because now you're going to have to decorate Paul George in regards to what he did and drop CP3 off somewhere else, because CP3 is going to go down. His stock will probably go down. Everything, if he loses a game or a series like this without the other team's best superstar and the second superstar beats you, that's unreal. So my point is, this is a big game for the Clippers. We got to go out there. They got to go out there and do it. They got to go out there and show the fight and the intensity, and they have to be ready for whatever the Phoenix Suns throw at them. I expect Devin Booker to come out and play really well, but DeAndre Ayton as well. But like I said it before, and I say it again, the game is slowed down when Chris Paul is in there. The Phoenix Suns are really actually better off starting and using Cameron Payne more, because the game is faster. It's more in the pace of where Monty Williams probably needs it to be, and that's the pace you need to compete against the Clippers. If the Clippers play this slow down half-court basketball against Chris Paul, the Clippers will come back and win this series. I think they can. Because like I said, Chris Paul is just not fast enough. The game doesn't move fast enough, and it's too slow paced, and it plays into the Clippers' hands because their defense can get set. If the Clippers' defense can get set with all the long wing defenders that they have, you're in trouble, because they can make good defensive plays if they're set. The problem with the Clippers is if you get them out of their set and you're running fast break on them a lot, that's when they have trouble against you, especially if you can go downhill. And that's what Cameron Payne can do. So I'm loving the fact that, they're praising CP3 and giving him all this credit, because I think it only bodes more in the Clippers' favor. I really do. And, I say that with conviction because I said it before. I think Chris Paul slows them down to a pace where they don't need to be. And the pace that they don't need to be at is a slow pace. And I personally love it, because I would love to see nothing more than the Clippers go to the finals and knock CP3 off and put even more of a dent in his legacy. Because I've never been a CP3 fan. He's always been a great player. I never ever will say he's not a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. He's all the above. But I feel like he's more popular with his State Farm commercials rather than he is with his basketball game. That's just my personal opinion. A lot of people may look at that differently. A lot of people might sense that differently. But that's just my opinion. That's just what I see. That's just how I feel, and I definitely think the Clippers can win tonight's game. Just feed off the energy, of the crowd, and feed off the energy of just everybody in the, in the organization, and everybody's pushing for the Clippers, man. Everybody should be, because this team been through a lot. They've shown a lot of grit and resilience, and they're still continuing to do it, even without their best player. Even though, we all hope Kawhi Leonard comes back, because I'm telling you, if this team comes back, I don't think anybody could beat this team next year. I don't care if it's the Lakers. This team right here, if they keep the same squad and everybody comes back healthy next season, I think this is a dominant type team. I think this team right here can win a couple of championships if they stay together. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I definitely feel like tonight's going to be a close game. We're all watching, CP3's legacy on the line, but so is Paul George's legacy, because Paul George can up his legacy and knock CP3's down. And that's exactly what we're anticipating to see, exactly how it goes and actually how it pans out, because Paul George has nothing to lose. CP3 has everything to lose. So, hey, go Clippers. Let's see how it turns out tonight. I think it's going to be a close game again. I'm picking Clippers 106 to 102 Clippers. I'm picking that close game, and I think the Clippers are going to pull it out, and I think we're going to a game 7 to see what happens, and just kind of take it from there. But hey, leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about my comments today, and let me know if you agree or anything like that, and we could talk about it like we always do. Cali out.